Father, I know we can't exactly change the past, but we can try to move forward. Look, I know I'm not even supposed to have this stuff, but everyone likes it. Won't you try it at least? Here, take it either way.
I can dispose of this properly. Speaking of disposal, I've no further need for this here, so rid me of it, why don't you? On your way out.
Father, I don't know what to say. Here you go. Since this is Father's house, it's only fair the walls be slathered with his sour look.
You dare to thusly mock me, boy.
Time to break out again.
Why am I never proud of you? Don't take it personally, boy. I'm never proud of anything. Pride is perhaps our family's worst trait. See how many mortals are with us because of it.
Little pride's all right. Uncle Poseidon. Uncle Poseidon, sometimes I wonder what my life would have been like had you been part of it sooner. Your encouragement, your enthusiasm, it means a lot. To you, this ambrosia's been to hell and back.
Oh, but isn't this a kingly offering indeed, my little Hades? I know how difficult it must have been to get, so distant from Olympus as you are. I'll never understand how come your father's cruel to you. For if you were my son, I would be proud. Proud anyway, but you get the idea. I sense you have in your possession that fine shell I sent you. A little gift plucked straight out of the sea. You keep it close so I can better track you down.
Hi, Aphrodite.
I sense you finally acted on your pent-up passion for the Fury Megara, yes, little godling? These types of things, they don't escape my notice, and they're always so enjoyable to see.
I warn you, Zagreus, as not to make attempts to grow much closer with me thus. I'm much your elder, after all, and you're my little sprout. What say we keep it that way, hmm?
He's back again, Boldy. You know, Prince said, you really have a look about you that you know exactly where you're going as of late. I used to think you weren't near as comfortable in your own skin.
Well, you were right. I was never comfortable performing Father's routine Tartarus inspections. Though those responsibilities of mine didn't last long.
Nor did we have much opportunity to chat back then, but hey, you always struck me as a decent sort. Wasn't accustomed to your father's henchpeople greeting me with a smile.
Hello, Fury Sisters.
Expecting someone else there, boss? A certain half-sister of mine, perchance? Well, tough break. I got here first. Want one of these or not?
Oh, blasted witches got me.
And if you ever need anything at all, Your Royalness, you can always find me wide awake right over there. Though I really shouldn't leave my post like this, not even for you.
I truly appreciate it.
Hey boy, I hope all the construction and renovation around here hasn't been too inconvenient for you lately. But hey, the lounge is just about ready for you to utterly destroy again.
Prince Zagreus implants in the impressionable, vicious watchdog of the underworld a new appetite for more destruction, to be sated in another age.
Let's enjoy it while it lasts. More nectar for the old disposal service, Father, if you don't mind. Come on, you must have tried the stuff, at least in the days before you were here. Didn't you ever enjoy yourself at any point?
I don't require beverages in order to enjoy myself, boy. Unlike so many of your kin upon their mountain. Yet this blasted substance somehow finds its way to my domain. Then fine. You wish for the customs here to be more akin to Olympus? Why not?
Why not?
You and my son. It pleases me to see the two of you have grown so close of late. Thanatos has always led a solitary life. He never would complain of it, and yet, I know he yearned for closeness in his way.
Thank you, Nyx. I think we each have harbored feelings for each other for some time. We've finally been true about them.
Then in this, you each achieved what you desired. I ask that you take care of my dear son. I often fear that he shall work himself too hard.
Oh, he's all right. Though I'll be sure to keep an eye on him.
Then very well.
Say, Father, back when you drew lots with your brothers and wound up with the underworld, rather than the heavens or the seas, which would you have claimed, if the choice was yours?
I do not deal in hypotheticals, boy. Each realm has its host of unenviable problems. You have never experienced the cold and sopping sea, or the blinding heights of Olympus. I have, and I assure you, you're not missing much.
Didn't you try to leave the underworld yourself at some point? You once gave me that impression. I always thought it was because you hated it here.
I hate not having any choice. Enjoy the freedoms that you have. As you grow along in years, you gain more burdens and responsibilities, until they bind you.
Can't wait.
I've got a feeling this time, man, like things are really going to take a turn for you, and I mean for the better, almost certainly, I think.
Follow my voice.
All right. Nyx.
Welcome to chaos. Go forth, bearing the mark of chaos.
Accept your consternation, son of Hades, as you look about this space. You have another question, and are free to ask.
Oh, it's just... I sometimes wonder, Master Chaos. If you created all of this, then who created you? What was this place before you arrived?
All of this simply came to be, and so did I, presumably after a former time had finally reached its end. I hesitate to say it was an act of will. It was more like a sudden shift, as when a conflagration happens from a spark. I arrived at such a time, and all else then arrived from me.
My dearest little godling, how fares everything with you of late? I love to have these little interactions with you, simple as they are, for they have brightened many of my evenings here.
If you should ever make it here, nephew, know this. I shall be pleased to stand in for the father figure I can tell you never really had. You can engage in all sorts of aquatic competitions, solve riddles, visit the sea nymphs. Oh, it would be great, wouldn't you think?
And here I was beginning to think that we had something special going, no? Look here, little godling. Let me save you lots of future suffering. I happen to be the jealous type. Let's just say we kissed and made up, dearest. Just do not anger me again, or I might come down and kill you there myself.
Time for Tisiphone, maybe? Guess not.
I almost want to thank you, Zagreus. I thought you'd never change that blasted pact and leave me here in peace.
What, you mean you aren't lonelier without Electo's or Tisiphone's companionship? They seem so wonderful to have around.
They're tolerable each to some extent. About as much as I can say for you. Now let's the two of us begin.
How have you been seeing the Fury Megara, Cuz? Got the impression she was quite a handful, though I guess the same can probably be said of you there, huh? You two have fun.
Our messenger Hermes has been in contact with you by now, yes? Perhaps you shall not see him very often, for my work keeps him rather preoccupied shepherding souls and such.
Pay for that.
Look, Zag, you should know by now that when it comes to feasting, it's yours truly here who puts on the best performance. But I do have Lady Aphrodite's help.
Why
does have a rather special way of making everybody look even more beautiful than ever, Dionysus dear. And from such beauty why long-lasting love is born. And also shorter-lasting love, much of the time.
You wound me, little Hades, with your callous choice. It's fortunate I'm quite impervious to harm. But I don't think the same is true for you. I must hand it to you, little Hades. I did not expect that you would weather such a storm. I'm mightily impressed.
Prepare to be sent back into the depths whence you came.
The prince persuades the underworld's ferocious guardian to move aside.
You ready for another go?
It seems our realm has many weaknesses. I shall deal with them shortly then.
Thanks for dying. Nice to see you here again.
I thought about it more, Mother, and I would like very much if you and Father were to share this. Though, maybe don't let on where you got it, just in case.
This is splendid, Zagreus, but please, if there's one thing I've learned since we met, it's that the trust we share is at the very foundation of our relationships. Why shouldn't he know who this is from? Besides, I think he could figure it out.
Well, when it came to the Olympians, you said yourself that there was only so much truth that they could tolerate. Are you sure Father would be tolerant knowing I got this for the both of you?
I'm sure enough. And if he isn't, I suppose it's more for me.
Well, just as long as someone puts it to good use.
You know I always wanted to be a mother, Zagreus. But after you were born, I was certain I had lost my chance. Then one fine morning you just walked into my life. And here we are. I still cannot entirely believe it. What I mean is, I love you, son. I'm doing my best.
I know. I love you too, Mother.
Turns out there's still an awful lot to do around here, isn't there, Zagreus? I'm still getting caught up on day-to-day affairs.
Day-to-day? How can you even tell it's day around here anyway, Mother?
Well, that was just a guess now that you mention it. In any case, forgive me if I don't get swooped up in every household detail, all right?
Never. Kidding, of course.
The triple-headed monster Cerberus is dutifully sitting there as ever.
Achilles, I've been meaning to ask you about the odd skeleton usually standing around in the courtyard. Old acquaintance of yours? A hireling, perhaps?
That one Skelly, was it? We only met when all this business of escape began. If I have a connection to him, I'm unaware. Does he claim to know me? Perhaps I slew him when we were alive.
I don't know that that's it. So neither of us has any idea where he's from or how he got there, huh? Can you think of any leads? Nyx doesn't seem to know him either.
Perhaps the gods of Olympus sent him to your aid? Their methods can be odd, and there are many who support you. Regardless, he does not appear to be your father's spy, if that is your concern.
Not a concern, just a morbid curiosity.
Not now, Zag. Private meeting.
Don't work yourself too hard, okay, Highness?
The key to any halfway decent feast is lots and lots of preparation, man. Or maybe just having to improvise, you know?
It pleases me to know, young man, that you and Dionysus have been getting on so well. He could use a level-headed friend, and you could use my blessing. It isn't wise to go against me, nephew, both in matters large and small. I am not known for being charitable to the insolent. Commendable of you to live through that, and I suspect you shall think twice next time before so brazenly defying me, won't you?
Trash God. I thought I'd never get some quiet time again, you know, Red Blood? That damned pact you stupidly agreed to making me work with my sisters again.
I'll get you for that.
Sensing a pattern that it really doesn't take much for you to have something to get me for, does it?
Oh, that's rich. How smart of you. You're smart. Know what? I'll get you for that, too.
But...
Thought I'd check in again real quick there, boss. Do you want my witty conversation next time, or straight to the boons?
Definitely witty conversation, Lord Hermes. Boons are more than welcome after that.
Ha! Good. I like these little chats. Take care now, boss. To think he could... None of this didn't have to be.
Forgive me, stranger, for, in retrospect, I was too terse after you told me what became of my Achilles. Tales of his climactic battle I had heard. The stuff about his ashes and my own. That was all new.
No need to even ask forgiveness, sir. Achilles is one of my closest friends, but he doesn't care to talk about himself, about those times. It must be very painful for the both of you.
Oh, we've all seen our share of pain by now. But knowing that he cared for me in the end, after the end, it dulls the feeling of it for a bit. As do these conversations, I guess.
Perhaps you have defied me in jest, young man. Though in such cases pertinent to my authority, you'll find I lack a sense of humor. Well, young man, I'd say it's best we put this little slight behind us, wouldn't you?
I understand you nearly reached the surface lately, Zagreus. My confidence remains unshaken that you shall get out of there eventually. No matter what sorts of unknown horrors lie shrouded beyond the boundary there.
Hey everyone, I'm back.
There is but one thing I shall give to you, blackguard, other than the razor-sharp point of my blessed spear. You are resilient. Time after time you challenge us. Sometimes I fear I shall develop some sort of grudging respect for you.
I've no such fear myself, Theseus, though I appreciate you noticing. You're quite an inspiration, you know. I wouldn't come all this way to destroy just anyone.
To be destroyed, you mean? I see you, plain monster. You seek the glory of this fight before this crowd. You yearn for it. Then you shall have it, just as often as you please.
Each violent countenance of Cerberus agrees the satyr sack must be destroyed.
We made it, Stygius. I hope this Arthur serves you well someday.
I never had any respect for Stygius, that blade you bear. Perhaps unfairly due to Brother Poseidon's sloppy form when once he wielded it. But now it seems quite different in your care.
I think we've grown quite close to one another, yes. Enough to where I've come to know a different side of this fine blade right here. This is the aspect of some Arthur fellow. Maybe the two of you could get acquainted properly.
Arthur? No name either of gods or kings of any realm I know. Then introduce us, as you say, to this new amateur to whom your blade rendered its services.
The Underworld Prince is getting rather good at this, but let us say he perished anyhow.
Hey, you look like you could use some sleep.
And what of the complaints from Elysium? They wanted the lawns thoroughly manicured for their athletic contests.
Already taken care of. Though the flooding in Asphodel, that doesn't look like something we can clear up for quite some time. Fortunately, the residents seem to be getting accustomed to it.
There have been fewer reports about it as of late. And what of the satyr problem? Blasted things are rampant up there still.
Well, they're probably contained up there, at least. And Zagreus has been keeping them in check, hasn't he?
He has.
I cannot talk right now, my friend.
Nix, you don't suppose Charon would hold it against me if we had a little fight? To the death, I mean.
None of Charon's brothers ever dared fight with him whilst growing up. Why would you fathom such a ruinous idea, child?
It kind of already happened. And I can confirm he's rather strong. Something I can do to make it up to him?
Probably not, for it is unnecessary. Likely he appreciates having an adversary in his own way. Few would so much as dare.
Friendly rivalry it is, then. Achilles, sir, I've uncovered the hidden aspect for Stygius. Nyx gave me the words this time, and a vision of a noble leader among mortals. An entire armored legion of them. Arthur was his name. Will be his name, I guess.
A future leader among men wielding that blade. The mysteries of the infernal arms run deep, don't they? Although it seems that you and Stygius formed quite a bond.
Must be the regular feedings. I'm sorry I raised my voice with you last time, Than. I know Nyx put so much into this place and has nurtured so many of us here.
It's not me you should be apologizing to, Zag. Although, with Mother Nyx, sometimes it's best to leave her be. As for Dusa, I didn't mean to suggest you should abandon your friend.
Thanks.
Hope you don't mind. I told Callisto all about you recently. Don't worry, I was quite discreet about it. The two of us were on the hunt. Not like I just shouted out your story from the mountaintops.
None can endure an everlasting winter's chill, young Zagreus. Not even your father's lifeless servants there beneath the earth.
You must know I often hunger for destruction, almost uncontrollably at that. Though I am finding you are able to sate that appetite of mine. Your course of action here was ill-advised, my kin. For war shall come to you no matter what, as I shall presently reveal. Your sacrifice to me just now has moved me to forgiveness for the time. Thus shall we call a truce.
Hello, Tisiphone. No murder. Zagreus. My name is Zagreus. Can you say that, Tisiphone? No murder. Zagreus. Murder, sir?
Hey guys, that last run through that you did, I almost can't believe how quick you pulled that off. You're really pretty good.
Zag, turns out I am quite the judge of character, and you men have an awful lot of it. I mean, you've given out how much ambrosia now? To all your mates and more?
You truly think you can withstand the ravages of winter, Zagreus? That I would like to see. It ultimately isn't my intent to leave you in the cold like this, young Zagreus.
I sense another furious battle here awaits us, short one. Although you're more inquisitive than usual.
Oh.
It's just, I have an odd request. You see, the god of slumber, Hypnos, colleague of mine, huge fan. He's in desperate need of your autograph. Little personalized message. I don't suppose you'd be so kind. It'd mean a lot to him.
Autograph. I see. Then it appears there are such gods as favor me. I will inscribe a bit of parchment for your colleague then.
The god-forsaken Minotaur impresses then upon a parchment a brief message to the god of sleep, and gives it to the favor-asking prince.
Know, short one, that this favor is for you, and not for Hypnos. Though he may challenge me himself at any time.
Shall we get started then?
Tell me something, monster. Whence did you steal that kingly blade you're brandishing about? It seems ill-fitting for one such as you.
Oh, this? I wouldn't say I stole it, so much as naturally wooed the fates into bestowing it upon me. You could say I'm kind of testing it out.
Ah, well then, I pity whosoever shall lay hands upon that cursed thing once you are finished with this testing of yours. I think that we can make it rather quick.
There, Dionysus. What does one offer to the god of wine? The very best is what? And down here, this is it, mate. I'm grateful I've got some of your spirit in me. To have such a connection with you despite all the distance between us.
Zag, I cannot believe what you're offering to me. Ambrosia, man, for me? And talk about a bottle that has seen some wild days and nights. I mean, if it got all the way to you down there, only to come back up. Know what? I'm saving it till we can share it here.
Thus has the prince again persuaded fearsome Cerberus to get out of his way.
Untold murderous wretches in my realm, all at my beck and call, yet still you made it here. I shall keep coming back. The same as you. You're quite strong.
There. There are a myriad of tales to be told, of both great deeds and of vainglorious defeats. And this has been a tale that falls somewhere in the middle overall.
Hey, Hypnos. This is for all the well-meaning advice you've given me. A little something from a certain double-bladed axe-wielding, bull-headed, oversized monster of a man you admire.
What's this? It's kind of hard to read the handwriting. It says, "No way. To Hypnos, my biggest fan. Stay vigilant. Asterius." There's even a little picture of a bull. Wow. Wow!
Enjoy it, Hypnos.
So, you had a run-in with the Minotaur out in Elysium, did you? Perhaps the only soul within this realm more bull-headed than you.
How long have you been waiting to use that line, Father? Wouldn't put it past you to have sent the Bull of Minos to Elysium entirely so we could have this conversation now.
You give me too much credit, boy. The Minotaur resides where he resides because of an entirely different arrangement.
He's working for you, isn't he? You think he can stop me?
Most in Elysium jump at the opportunity to do my bidding. Not that you know what that is like. Now go, see how you fare against the bull.
Have another bottle, why don't you, Father? Not like it's going to change anything between us, right? All the nectar in the underworld can't change what's already happened. Or change yourself.
You're probably correct. You must think it is my age that makes me obstinate. Unable to change my nature. But I have always been inflexible. You think I'm proud of it? You call me father, like it's an insult. I deserve the title only as a technicality, I know.
You could start being a better father at any point. There's no one stopping you but you.
Yes, well, unfortunately I am a significant impediment. You should be well aware of that. You were able to stop me. I have, thus far, been unable to do so.
Well, with that attitude...
Meant to tell you, recently I noticed Megara, and I believe I saw the faintest smile play across her lips. That anything to do with you, perhaps? Not asking for specifics, mind.
You really think that has to do with me? I mean, I hope you're right, and I suppose it's possible. It's just, how can you tell?
Perhaps with time I've grown keen to more than just the weaknesses of my enemies on the battlefield. Especially since I don't have those anymore. I'm happy for you, lad. The two of you.
Thanks, Achilles. That means a lot.
Oh, hi! Hey, Prince, is it really true about Miss Meg and you? I mean, that you're, because if so, then I want you to know I'm just so happy for the two of you. That's wonderful, you two. I'm so glad.
Thank you, Dusa. I know you and Miss Meg are close, so I am grateful that we have your blessings. Though we're kind of not out in the open with it necessarily, so if you please, just keep it quiet for us, would you?
Oh, you better believe it. I will tell nobody whatsoever. No. I'll just be very, very happy to myself. All right then. Bye.
Bye.
I just don't know how I can ever repay you. For raising him. For everything. After I left, besides old Cerberus, I think maybe I missed you most of all.
I can remember feeling similar emotions at the time. However, it is quite unnecessary to give thanks to me this way. You are the queen, safely returned where you belong. I did what anybody would have in my place.
Anybody would have lovingly raised my estranged son while keeping safe my secret, eventually orchestrating an elaborate plot to reunite him with me, so that I might someday return to have a nectar with them in the lounge.
Precisely, yes.
Sulk in your chambers all you like, for I care not. I have eternity to finish with this work, so your assistance is entirely unneeded.
There shall be only souls for harvesting this day, I think, young Zagreus.
When you expire and then suddenly return to life within your father's residence, perhaps it is akin to when I first gained consciousness so long ago. Perhaps I too had just expired only to reawaken.
There must be some unconquerable force or foe awaiting you just at the border of your realm and ours. We cannot even see it through a shroud of darkness there. I shall make certain that your family knows it may take considerable time to surpass. So fear not, for we are patient here.
Is my hair sticking up? Hey, Charon, look at me. You're just testing me here, right, Charon? I mean, when you place a huge sum of coin conspicuously within my reach, what do you expect me to do? Sounds good, mate. When I rob you from now on, it's just my way of saying, Charon, I would like to battle you to the death right now for a quick change of pace. Thanatos.
Leave him alone.
You and me, mate.
You had it out with Charon again, huh? And it turned out like it did before. The thing you have to understand is he's got lots of upper body strength. You seen the definition in his arms? Maybe try some rowing for yourself.
You try it.
Verify something for me here, boy. According to the latest reports, you attempted unsuccessfully to shoplift from Charon himself, and were consequently slain. Utterly ignoble end, even for you.
I was borrowing, okay? Not shoplifting. Why didn't anybody ever tell me Charon was such a monster? I thought the boating mercantile thing made for a peaceful life.
You incur the wrath of ancient chthonic gods, and then are surprised to be destroyed by them. Have you learned nothing after all this time?
No.
Enough of this, boy. Even mortals know better. I don't want your nectar or ambrosia or whichever offerings. You owe me no such thing, and I shall not accept it any longer. In fact, here. You shall take all of it back.
Why? It's just nectar, Father. Lighten up. I get that you're surly about everything, but please at least try toward decency with me. If not for me, then for Mother.
How dare you lecture me? I mean... Look, as you told me yourself, there's no changing what already transpired. And our memories are warnings. When you have lived as long as I have, you come to understand your weaknesses.
What are you getting at? You're just going to give up, stick with what's comfortable for you instead of making any real effort at making peace with your son.
Listen to me. My attempts at making peace are going to be rather subtle for your tastes. I cannot change the past, and there is only so much I can do about the future. I tell you this because I shall not lie to you again. That much I swear.
All right. Well, it's a start.
How is he anyway, if you've encountered him of late during your journeys, lad? The fallen warrior you've run into in Elysium, that is.
He's doing relatively well, I think. There's a lot you've told me that he didn't know. About what led up to his present circumstances and your own.
You told him then? Without requesting my consent to tell him first? What exactly did you say to him?
Achilles, I'm sorry. I just told him about your ashes being intermingled, that whole thing, and about the pact. You told me once to send him your love and regards. This brought him no joy, only questions. You told me not to speak to father, not to him.
You're right. I should have specified. Or shouldn't have. Because what you said probably is for the best. I didn't mean to lose my temper with you, lad. It's just... Look, thank you for looking out for him. For both of us. Just please be careful.
I swear I will.
Oh, hi! Hey, Prince, I saw that Orpheus. He got some time away. Did you do that? He's visiting his Minos, that's what he said. That's so exciting. I mean, they've been separated the whole time they've been dead.
They have a lot of catching up to do for sure. Though I think they're going to be all right.
Yeah, you did it!
It seems I failed once again to persuade Nyx to take some personal time.
Here on Olympus, nephew, would take care of one another and support each other. Quite unlike how it must be there in your father's grim domain. No wonder you intend to leave.
Prior to your intervention, son of Hades, I expected that the goddess Nyx had forgotten about me, whether purposefully or from passage of time. I believed that to be forgotten was the one true inevitability. Perhaps, however, I was incorrect.
Your struggles have not gone unnoticed, cousin, so take heart. Eternity awaits you once you finally break free.
You would be wise to heed my words next time, and fear the consequences of eluding me. Death can be most unpleasant, as I'm sure you know.
Well, that's just it, Master Thanatos. I never was terribly fearful of you gods, if you'll forgive my saying so. Far as I can tell, all of you seem to have your struggles much like mortals do. A fear of death aside.
What would you know of the struggles of gods? Now you have eternity to think on what you've done. Maybe I'll check again with you after another eon or two, see if you've learned anything more.
Good to see you. Oh, come now. Princette, just missed your stern-faced colleague. Feel that stillness hanging in the air? Sounds like he won't be checking up on me again anytime soon.
Thanatos really isn't such a bad sort once you get to know him, sir. Though I suppose you'll have to take my word for that.
Oh, I believe it, Highness. I should think that bringing death must be a lonely job. Perhaps you ought to try pushing a boulder sometime.
Shall we?
Prince Zagreus, you are trespassing beyond the limits of your authority. I am under orders to stop you.
Come on, Meg, why so formal all of a sudden? We've been through this countless times. Wait, is it because...
Oh, come on, Zag. Will you just learn to play along for once? Come on and fight me like you mean it.
Than, pardon me.
Get out of here.
Why, look at you there, boss. I recognize that fancy plume you got. Just an iota of my speediness in there. But still, much more than most can do.
aren't so bad here, hon. Hope you can say the same.
Now hold a moment, fiend. Asterius made me aware that you recently asked of him an autograph, a tribute to his fame. As I am champion, I am prepared to generously offer mine as well.
Oh, no thanks. Appreciate the offer, though. How about a fight instead?
You... It was merely a jest. I'd not have given you the cloth about my loins, much less my name. But a fight you certainly shall have.
Okay.
What is it, love? Are you still having problems with the dead? I swear, you'd think they had enough of me in life.
Oh, hi, Father.
Come all this way again to fall to me. Would that you paid me such respects back at the house. It seems I was no match for you this time. See you at home.
By my...
Just when his victory was all but certain, a fissure opens underneath the feet of the ill-fated prince, and from it vents a cloud of superheated water vapor. Steam, as it is known. And probably you know what happens next.
What? Welcome to the House of Hades. Just come on in.
I just got back shortly before you did.
So, what happened when Mother first arrived, if I may ask? Some of your residents seem to remember the Queen from before, yet the Olympians just never found out?
They had no jurisdiction here. No knowledge of our goings-on. Well, Hermes did perhaps, but in a very limited capacity. As far as anybody knew beyond this realm, our queen was Nyx. Ask nothing more of this.
All right, all right.
There's no such thing as lesser gods, lad.
Thank you, sir. Hey, Than, tell me something, and forgive the awkward question here, but are we good? I mean, between us. Any infuriating habits I should know about, that sort of thing?
You know I don't have time to list all your infuriating habits, Zagreus. Though, if any of them were outside my usual tolerance threshold, I promise to let you know. All right?
So then we're good. Because I think we're good, but I just wanted to make sure.
We're good. See you, all right?
Good.
Well, Zag, you like things nice and complicated, don't you? Apparently, so do I.
If you're asking if I have any regrets about what happened between us, the answer is no. Being with you, any complications there are worth it.
You don't need to tell me. 2 rules if you want to keep this up. First, we set the personal aside when we're out there. I better not hear a soul say I'm going soft on you. And second, keep up this slightly more mature thing you've had going for you recently.
Wasn't planning on sliding back into the insensitive nonsense of youth, so I don't think the second thing will be a problem. But the first, can we really just keep kidding each other out there like nothing happened?
Huh. Guess you'll find out.
You are returned. You have fulfilled already many prophecies envisioned by my daughter's child. Although perhaps inevitable, I find it impressive nonetheless.
Thank you, Nyx. Though they're just minor prophecies, right? The kind that won't necessarily come to pass unless spelled out and coupled with a decent reward to make it worth my while. Not even the Fates are above greasing the wheels of progress, then.
The Fates have perfect knowledge of exactly what is necessary for the future they have woven to someday come to pass. We each are instrumental to their ultimate design. Some more than others, it would seem, of course.
Some more than others, yes. Contractor, I have another job. If some big light refracting orb won't fill the lounge with revelry, I don't know what will.
Blood and darkness, what have you done now?
Tell me something, Zagreus. Sometimes I fear... Do you hate him? I mean your father. Regardless of his intentions. It sounds as though he made your life extraordinarily difficult. All his pent-up fear and anger. You bore the brunt of it.
Do I hate him? Mother, I don't know that I hate anybody, really. The tales of him and the Olympians rending their immortal Titan parents to bits. I can't relate to how they must have felt. But I resented him for sure, and I don't know if I'll ever get over that entirely.
I understand. I think that when Hades told you he asked no forgiveness, he understood as well and meant it. Well, for all his failings, I'm thankful that he did not teach you how to hate. For your own sake, if not for his.
Sometimes I think he tried.